Prince William will never tell people not to use planes or cars to help the environment. What's all this about, Tonia?
Good man, good man. He's not a hypocrite like his brother. That's all I can say. What he's doing is the Earthshot Awards that are going on. He's actually taking a commercial airline to go over to this week-long meetings of trying to find things to help fix the environment. There's a £1 million grant for environmental work, so that's what the winner receives. And I get this. I mean, there's lots of ways that we can save the planet instead of stopping normal people from getting on planes and driving their cars. This is a human need. I want to get on a plane and I want to be able to drive my car, but I want to save the planet. And one of the first things that we can do, and this is one of the things he said as well, is we can stop plastic. Plastic is killing the world. It's killing the seas. It's killing the world. If unilaterally we all banned plastics and no longer use them, that would make a big difference to the chance.
Quite useful, though, aren't they? Plastics, Tonia?
No, they're not. They're really not. And you know,
medical equipment, perhaps?
Well, you know, if they're needed in very specific things, but there are alternatives that we can use. And I'm talking more about the plastics that are in supermarkets, single use, even Tupperwares and things like that. You know, plastic boxes. We don't need them. They could be glass, because every single fish that you eat now has some plastic in it.
I would wager that it's more environmentally damaging and certainly uses much more energy to make glass than make plastic.
Yes, but it doesn't damage. When it comes to the energy and what CO2 we are doing to the world and whether that has an effect, that science is still out. You know,
I don't think it is.
Yeah, but plastic doesn't break down, does it?
I don't think it's fair to say that the science is out on whether CO2 affects the climate. I think the greenhouse effect is fairly settled science.
Well, I'm not entirely sure that's true. I think that you have to look through history of what's happening with the CO effect and how much we as mankind are affecting that. That's a whole other story. That's a whole story. But the main thing is that if we didn't have plastics are poisoning us and our children. The seas are suffering. They're breaking down because they're full of pollutant plastics. If we could just do that one thing, stop single use and stop kind of casual use of plastics, that would make a big difference to the world.
And yet, for example, if you were to buy fruit in a supermarket that's wrapped in plastic, it might have twice the shelf life than if it wasn't wrapped in plastic and was oxidising in a normal way.
No,
in some ways, that sort of plastic wrapping can be more environmentally friendly because it extends the shelf life. We're not throwing away all this food.
No, I completely disagree with you. There are more modern ways, and there are coverings that you can have of food that are not plastics, that are biodegradable, that you don't need to use the easy, cheap plastics. It's a big money-making industry. That's why they're not changing it and converting it. And when it comes to excesses of food, we have too much food flown in from other countries here anyway. We should reduce it as it is and try and be a bit more sustainable ourselves.
I would certainly agree with you that when we're talking about climate change, Tonia, we should focus on our immediate environment, and plastics in our seas and rivers, not a good thing.
Plastics in the sea have nothing to do with climate change.
No, but it's the environment. It's our environment.
It's different. It's litter. It's just litter.
Anyway.
I mean, litter's bad, but it's different from CO2. Anyway, I'm so sorry. We have run out of time. We could have spoken about this for hours.